but he also has a Jace Memory Adept, maybe attacking Ben's library. We're not quite sure as we do join this match in progress. Jace Memory Adept, Adrian, been one of the all-stars this weekend, a card that you guys don't see a ton of, so we will bring it up on screen for you guys.
Now, Jace Memory Adept being at 6, Matt Nass has been using it for that card advantage function that a lot of people made fun of it for. Yeah. We were so used to the Mind Sculptor that this seemed like an expensive, cheap version.
Yeah, what were they thinking by printing this one? After we had Jace the Mind Sculptor, come on, it's got to be better than that now.
I mean, that's the bar.
Yeah,
you gotta impress me now.
You can't just go printing Jaces now after you print that one. But Jace Memory Adept for this particular tournament has looked very, very impressive. The second ability, the 0 ability, milling 10 cards, people chasing down libraries instead of life totals. That's what this card allows you to do, as we see Matt Nass making a spirit token here.
Ooh. I can't quite tell what the art on that spirit is, but that spirit hopping in the way of a currently 4/4 Huntmaster of the Fells. Thalia, currently a 3/2. We'll see if they grow.
Looks like Gavney Township is putting in some work this particular game.
A quick note about Reed Duke's top 8 matches so far. 3-0 victory in the quarters, 3-0 victory in the semis. Pretty impressive stuff. Jace drops to 3 after the attack. No pump from Ben Wienburg. He passes back. And what is this? Opportunity here for the Huntmaster to become a Ravager. No spells cast. 2 damage redirected to the Jace.
As we do see Matt draw a card. Feeling of Dread is in his hand, among other things. We will hopefully be able to get a better look at it as we do go along during this game. Interesting to see what kind of game plan he is crafting as he does play a Glacial Fortress and does just pass back. And he's going to mill 10 cards of Ben's. It looks like he's just going towards Ben's library, honestly. And with Ben only having 2 creatures in play right now, Feeling of Dread is looking very, very good. And one thing, Adrian, to keep in mind, with that Nevermore, a card that we will bring up on the screen for you guys as well, naming Restoration Angel, it really does limit the amount of tricks that Matt can play.
Yeah. What do we have? Is this going to be a Revelation? Okay.
We're going to see a Snapcaster Mage here, and it's going to be on Supreme Verdict.
There's the 6 mana he needs to do all of that. Thalia makes it 7.
So now what you see here is Matt has done a nice job of clearing the board, protecting the Queen, which is something that we've seen quite a bit this weekend with Jace Memory Adept. And Feeling of Dread is another card that's going to be able to buy Matt the necessary time. Now, another thing to keep in mind with that Nevermore, again, it does prevent Matt from playing Restoration Angel, but Ben is a deck that also has copies of Restoration Angel, and the effect is symmetrical. It's not a player who can't cast it. The name card just simply cannot be played.
Nevermore, harkening back to Meddling Mage, Chris Bakula's Invitational card. Now, if you aren't aware that there was an invitational card that was designed with Chris Bakula's likeness, it could just be because you know the more recent art. For shame, art department.
Poor Chris. Poor Chris.
Jeremy Jarvis, if you're out there, I love you, but what in the world? We see right now, look at this. Zealous Conscripts comes in, takes the Jace.
And now Jace
Knock
is
you.
Interesting. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 of the most important cards there. There is a Feeling of Dread, a card with flashback in the graveyard, as we do see Zealous Conscripts coming on in.
Funny thing, he kind of probably wishes he could attack that Jace.
Yeah, he really does, it seems like. But it's interesting because by making that move, as we are going to see, it looks like Think Twice be flashback here. Oh, excuse me, it's going to be a Moreland Haunt token potentially jumping in the way. No, he's just going to make one and pass. The funny thing here, Adrian, is that if you did catch a glimpse of Ben's hand, he does have 2 more Zealous Conscripts in his hand. So this could be a weird way of maybe milling Matt out?
Remember, Cavern of Souls on human.
Yeah. This is maybe a backwards milling, as we do see 10 cards here from Ben knocking his deck down to 16, and Matt's deck has 19.
Oh, wow. Now, a Sphinx's Revelation could theoretically spell doom should Matt Nass choose to cast one of any reasonable size.
My goodness, if we see Zealous Conscripts, as we see another one, Ben slams another one down, taking, oh my goodness. If Jace Memory Adapt is the way that Matt loses this game, could you believe that?
Oh, that would be so exciting. And the thing about it was, it wouldn't just be one stealing of the Jace. It would be multiple stealings of the Jace required to make this work.
And we do see 10 more cards being milled from Matt.
Oh my goodness. Oh, he's got 8 cards left or 9 cards left. Oh my gosh.
I mean, I'm fairly confident we're under 10 cards here.
8 after the draw, says our spotter, or I should say director. If you are just joining us, I'm Adrian Sullivan here with Cedric Phillips. This is the final semifinal match, or semifinal game left. The winner of this game is going to go on to the finals to face Reed Duke, undefeated in games in this top 8. These players have gone to 3-2 in their quarterfinals. What do we have left here from Mayor of Averbrook?
Mayor here.
Here they come in for 6. And Matt Nass's life is not a joke either. We see a Moorland Haunt create some spirit. Perhaps some chumps are going to come around.
Yeah, it doesn't look like Matt is interested in taking this 8 damage here from the 2 Zealous Conscripts. And now, a game that I'm sure Matt was feeling pretty confident about, especially after he flashed back that Supreme Verdict with Snapcaster Mage. I feel like he's not feeling so confident anymore as he is going to take a draw step.
His hand has an unsummon. I believe a Glacial Fortress was just drawn. Is that a Feeling of Dread as well?
Yeah, there are a couple copies of that card in his hand. He is counting his library, and you guys can see there, he is underneath 10 cards, and you can see Ben's library there.
Above 10.
Above 10 cards.
Matt knows Ben Wienburg's deck list. There are exactly 3 Zealous Conscripts between the 75 cards in Ben's main and sideboard.
You see Matt looking through his remove from game pile. You see him looking through his graveyard as well. You see a Feeling of Dread that he goes by, and I think he senses what we know is he's going to mill Ben 10 cards. And I think Matt knows that there's another Zealous Conscripts over there and that he's going to go out this way.
Wow.
You see multiple copies of Restoration Angel in Matt's hand that he cannot cast because of Nevermore, and there are 6 cards left in Ben's library. Multiple copies of Feeling of Dread in Matt's hand, 1 in the graveyard, and nothing he can do if that 3rd Zealous Conscript is in Ben's hand.
And in fact, nothing can he do if there's a Zealous Conscript in his entire 75 cards. There's no Oblivion Ring, there's no Detention Sphere, there's nothing. He just has to see if Ben has it.
And Ben is untapping very, 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 very fast.
That has to flip. Okay, he flips it.
And there
it is. My goodness. Okay. Talk about unexpected victories.
Assuming there's not a way out of this that we can think of, Matt.
Only thing that can happen is Ben Wienburg misclicks. No misclick. There. Oh, my goodness.
That's it.
Oh, wow. Look at that.
That is it. Ben Wienburg moving on to the finals after an incredibly creative way to end up taking a game. We saw Ben count Matt's library after that flashback Supreme Verdict via Snapcaster Mage, wondering, why are you counting my deck? And then things revealed themselves as we saw 3 Zealous Conscripts in a row mill Matt for